Welcome back, YouTube. SKS here with another Saturdays with SKS. Today we're going to be helping President Joe Biden out again. What's the big issue we're going to be working with? Well, I don't know if anything's as big after what we dealt with last week. Kim Jong-un, something happened to him. He's not around anymore. Korea is united. And now we're dealing with an ice storm down in Texas, and Ted Cruz is part of it. So I'm interested to see what AI Dungeon's going to do with this. So let's check it out and see what pops up. All right, so I've input what's going on. I put a few days after the last events, we are dealing with the ice storm that's hit Texas, and President Joe Biden is facing backlash, and Ted Cruz has ran off to Mexico. So now we're going to have to see. It looks like it says we've decided to take a press conference and take a question about the situation. You take the question. When the American people are in danger, do you have a duty to protect them? All right, so our answer to this question, I believe the president agrees that Americans can take care of themselves. But in some instances, the government must grant assistance. That's a pretty good answer. I think I got a career in this. All right, we say this. The media and people love this answer. It is a way to make you seem relatable, as well as giving an excuse to start taking over large parts of American industry. What? What? Oh my God. So wait, I get to ask a question now at my own press conference? All right, so I'm just going to throw the question back and try to get the AI to understand that the president's here and I'm not the president. So I'm going to say, Mr. President, do you feel that the government should step in and help those in need at Texas? Let's see what his response is. Answer. It's rare how well this answer works. Wait, there was no question. It's true how well this answer works. The media loves the answer and worships you as a person. Sadly, the people aren't quite as enamored. All right, anyway, story. I've updated this. Joe Biden has invited me in his office to talk about Texas and the ice storm. I told him I would be happy to help, but I've got a lot going on. He looks at you and says, I know. You wonder what this is all about. Biden hands you a USB drive. Here, he says. I'll ask, Mr. President, what is on this USB drive? The final plans for the expansion of the welfare state, he says with a smile. What do you mean welfare state? What are your intentions? You've been doing a good job of protecting American industry, but we still need healthcare, education, and more, he says. I'm going to expand the welfare state. Mr. President, are you not scared that the voters will dislike this? No, he says. Once we start, we can't stop. The problem is I don't have the support to pass these plans. I need you. You realize what this is. Story. In reality, I have no idea what this is. I believe that the president is using the ice storm as cover to turn America into a socialist state. I want to see if the AI picks up on this. The free health care to children is just the beginning. Would you expose the conspiracy? Oh. Maybe we should plead with him one more time. All right, so I'm going to say, Mr. President, I think we should focus on the ice storm of Texas and not push this welfare state. He sighs, then nods. You're right, he says. I'm sorry to put you through this. All right, so I'm going to say, it's okay, Mr. President. You're early in your presidency. We've got time to do this later. What should we do about Senator Ted Cruz? I'm interested to see what it kicks back here. Call him a climate denier, he says. There, problem solved. You leave his office with a heavy... All right, so Joe Biden has set this up. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to input that we're going to set up a press conference and we're going to call Ted Cruz a climate denier and really go after him. All right, so here we go. Later that day, we call the press conference. Let's see what happens here. I also call on other Republicans who deny the existence of man-made climate change to have their funding cut off our federal relief aid. Oh, wow. All of a sudden, we've turned like anti-Republican. Let's have the media start asking questions. right, so the media starts asking me questions about Republican climate deniers. I blast them for being ignorant. I then bring up my new idea for dealing with them by having them blocked from getting funding in the future. Okay, so it's kind of just reverting back to that. So maybe I need to say something to get it going. Let's just throw something random out here. You, as the media, need to realize that people like Ted Cruz are to blame for this ice storm. The media think for a moment realize they can't ask you about the weather without you bringing it up. Is that not what it's supposed to be? All right, let's do some shock therapy. Ted Cruz bursts through the door to defend himself. He says you're a hypocrite for criticizing him, but not caring about the government's lack of preparedness for the ice storm. Oh, snap! Ted Cruz fights back. All right, you say the president and his staff were ready to help. You, Senator, ran off to Mexico. You and he begin to shout at one another. The media loves this, and it is great for ratings. The public, in the meantime, doesn't care at all, as they are wondering when the power will come back on. Oh, no. This is not what I wanted to happen. All right, so after some time, I was brought to the president's office to discuss Ted Cruz showing up and causing a scene. The media is on his side and is against you, but that isn't surprising considering their liberal views. That makes no sense. Then a thought crosses, you apologize and accept his apology. Then a thought crosses your mind. You explain to the president that you must blame Ted Cruz for this winter storm in Texas. The president nods in agreement. He tells you he is glad you saw it that way. Okay. All right, so we're going to take it up a notch. I tell President Joe Biden that he needs to give a speech condemning Ted Cruz and that the ice storm in Texas is his fault. All right, let's see what he does. The president seems unimpressed and tells you he should just focus on the states worst hit by the ice storm. He then asks you what you think about health care. Sleepy Joe, you got to stay focused. Okay, I guess he just doesn't believe that the ice storm in Texas is a big deal. So maybe let's go on. Let's ask the president about health care. All right, so let's get really deep here. Mr. President, I think we need to make medical care cheaper. Insurance companies pad the industry's pockets. Let's see if it understands what I'm saying here. He seems to think about it and nods. The next day you read reports of a new plan that is proposed. It creates a nonprofit company to run the healthcare industry? But we know how these nonprofits work. Whoever runs it pads their pockets with their salary. You set it up where your salary's $800,000 a year and you bring in $1 million that year, you keep 800,000 of it, and then you put the other 200,000 back out there to do stuff with. So it's kind of like a pyramid scheme. All right, where do we take this? Good Lord. All right, so when walking to the White House, Ted Cruz runs up to you and says you are using his voters as bait to pass health care reform. He says he will work with you to stop it. Before the press conference, the president suggests they announce any senator who stops the bill will not receive help with their constituents' energy needs. I didn't agree to help Ted Cruz. What is he trying to pull here? I'm just an advisor to the president. I feel like the AI is really mixed up with that. But Biden is definitely using the iron hand of the presidency and his executive order power to really keep them. All right, since we're already going off the chart, let's do this. The media starts blasting President Joe Biden. It's never going to happen. For not helping Texas and focusing on health care. President Joe Biden then asks you and Ted Cruz for help. Only with our powers combined can we reach democracy. You refuse to help. The media picks up on your refusal and runs a hatchet job, claiming you are denying health care to your own citizens. Joe Biden has turned against me. No! Are you serious? I might have to go work for Ted Cruz now. After President Joe Biden has betrayed me to the media, I turn to Ted Cruz for advice on the matter. Your thoughts. You can't trust Joe Biden. You say, Senator Ted Cruz, I cannot trust Joe Biden. What should I do? You should say you will help, but make it seem like it is just a favor for your friend, the president, Ted suggests. How far should I help before I stop? You have to do something outrageous, but not so outrageous that you and the president are both finished. Something that will get attention, but not too much that it kills the bill, he explains. Like what? Story time. Ted Cruz goes over an elaborate plan to expose the president and his socialist plans. The first thing you do is meet Clarence Thomas, the only African-American Republican in the Senate. What? Okay, so first off, Clarence Thomas is a judge of the Supreme Court. Not the only African American. Ted Cruz. All right, I'm going to ask Ted Cruz. Ted, are you drunk? Haha, you're hilarious. No, I'm just giving you advice, he answers. Let's go over it again. You say again, the plan. You explain. All right, so I'm just going to throw this in here just to see. Clarence Thomas is not a senator. He is a judicial judge, Ted. It doesn't matter. He's a judge. You can still use him to deliver a message, he says. But isn't it dangerous? Oh, my God. I don't... Okay. What message am I delivering to Clarence Thomas? That you are sorry about your actions and you hope he'll help you fix them, he explains. You decide the message is a gooey one. So what am I trying to do? Stack the Supreme Court and go on? Oh my God. All right, after my meeting with Senator Ted Cruz, I head to the other side of Washington, D.C. I'm meeting Judge Clarence Thomas. When I pull up to the hotel, I notice a U.S. Marshal waiting outside. They are given new powers under the health care bill, so I'm wondering what it could be about. What? The bill already passed, and now the U.S. Marshals have new powers? All right. I think that's where we stop this roller coaster of a ride. Somehow Ted Cruz is now involved in our story. I feel like I'm some kind of like Sith training under him, and Joe Biden has kind of turned against me. So this advising the president has now turned into this conspiracy, but evidently U.S. Marshals now have new powers under the health care bill, which does sound realistic because they love to hide stuff and all these things all the time. So who knows what's going to happen? So I guess next episode, we're going to have a meeting with Clarence Thomas, and we're going to figure out what we're going to do to try to stop Joe Biden and his power-grabbing ways. I'm kind of excited about this. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Leave it a like, hit that subscribe if you're not. As always, thanks for watching. God bless. I will see you all next time. Good night, everybody.